Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, I just want to jump on here real quick because listen, I'm in several groups dealing with the box truck relay board and box truck Amazon relay, and for whatever reason, it seems like every time a new person joins the group, they come on and they say the same thing everybody else is saying. I'm kind of getting a little frustrated by it, but I can't just not be in the group. I mean, easily you could say, "Hey, won't you just jump out the group?" But I'll stay in it because I want to learn certain things that I may not know because I'm new to it, just like everybody else. But the frustrating part is when y'all get on and y'all, first of all, it could be me though. That y'all be trying to insult people, first of all, when y'all be insulting people. Like, that's just crazy. Like, can we just be adults, be grown-ups about it? So, like, if you got an issue, like, won't you just post the issue? Like, teach people. I get so sick and tired of people not trying to teach nobody anything. They just want to complain about what somebody doing just because they don't know no better. Okay. So, like, some of y'all, I don't know if y'all got kids or not, but y'all act like y'all don't. Y'all may not because y'all probably young. But you don't continue to let your child make the same mistake and be like, if you wasn't doing this, you wouldn't have to worry about this. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. How about don't do that? This is how you do it, and this is why you shouldn't do it. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe that's me, or maybe that's just old school. So that's an old school way of thought processing. We don't think like that anymore. But anyway, I'm not gonna bore you guys. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. Like I said, I'm here just to help the people that may need some help in this, some people that don't know any better, and just kind of teach the ones, the mistakes that you make and mistakes that you shouldn't make, real quick. And so, like I said before, I'm kind of new into this, so um, I don't. Well, I'm new as in I started my company in like last summer. So that's what I mean by that. Like, I haven't been in it no 10, 15 years. Like last summer, as in this summer, this past summer. But anyway, um, this is not a for-profit YouTube channel. So if you want to like it, share it, you can. I just would hope that you share or tag it to somebody's Facebook page that is making the mistakes, that may have concerns or issues that I may could help them out. And if you're not gonna share the information, then please do not be one of those people that jump on in the groups and just complain about all the newbies that mess up the rates for you. And a little transparency. This is a $1 billion industry. The newbies ain't messing up the rates. Amazon knows what they're doing, and it's gonna happen whether you got the new people or not. The problem is we do have a lot of new drivers, and so Amazon knows that they can get people to book at a certain rate. So of course, some rates gonna go at $2. That's just what it is. And certain rates are not gonna go at $2. I'm gonna show you why some of those rates go at $2, and there's no way around it. It doesn't matter if everybody band together; those rates still gonna be at $2. Um, First of all, I want to tell you, and this is from my information that I got from people that work at Amazon. So, a lot of people running around not making friends with these people and or sending your drivers in and getting into these arguments with a lot of people instead of you just actually just having a normal conversation like what we used to do back in the day, right? And just get to know the people, and the people will talk and they'll tell you. So, um, just so you know, a computer, the rates are autonomous. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. The rates are made by a computer. Period. It's based off mileage, it's based off computer, it's based off whatever they set. So yes, a human does put in the information, but once the rates are generated, they go up or down, or in most cases not up, down, or whatever, because the rate will climb, but it'll go up based on what time it is, based on the potential likelihood of that load getting picked up, and based on if that's a load that frequency gets picked up around this certain time. So I'll give you an example. The computer knows the algorithm of when you guys book, and if they got this load that they know people will fight over this load because of where it's going. Give you an example. I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If there's a load that comes and its last stop is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that load will be fought over no matter what the rate is. Because at the end of the day, people want to do what? They want to end their night close to home to eliminate as much as deadhead as possible, right? So the computer knows that. So that rate will jump off the board early, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's $2, $3, $4. People don't really care. People are not going to try to wait to get to $1,000 for that when they know that I'd rather be at home, early tonight. I'll take it off the board at 500. It's not gonna make it to $1,000, and I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna show you that when I show you my low board. But I just kind of want to go over that real quick. It's all done by a computer, and when you get to the rates that hit the DAT board, let's just say you got a load that doesn't get picked up at some point. Then at that point, because of the time frame, it'll go all the way up until maybe 30 minutes before it's time to pick up. They will get nervous. If that load has to go out, then what they'll do is they'll put it on the DAT board, and then they'll let The non-drivers fight over it. The non-Amazon relay people, I'm sorry, fight over it. And at that point, when you see something hit the dashboard, 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit the dashboard over $1,000. Yes, you can call and negotiate over it. Yes, you can call. I would encourage you to call, and if you're the first one to call and just say, hey, look, I'll take this. If let's say it drops at 1,000, I would encourage you to try to take it for 1,300. They're going to try to negotiate with you and meet you in the middle. And if they meet you at 1,200 or 1,100, I would say jump on it. Only reason is because somebody else is calling an Amazon center. It's going to be in Seattle because you're going to get somebody that's a foreigner 90% of the time. I don't know about you guys. It's either going to be in Seattle or, I don't think they outsource it overseas. They may outsource it. But anyway, you're going to call somebody and I'm going to call too. So if you're calling, arguing with them at 1,300, just beware. I might be okay with taking it for 1,000 because depending on where it's going, I'm like, okay, this is a good $1,000 night for me. So yes, if you're on the phone trying to go back and forth, understand that they may come back and say, never mind, my colleague got somebody to take it. And don't assume that it went for cheap. If it jumped on there 1,000, I'm not gonna ask for 600. That is dumb. I see that it's posted at a G. I'm gonna be like, yo, let me get that. And they're gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm not probably not gonna go into that. Now, I would encourage most people to always shoot your shot to go up. And if you can go up and get them to negotiate in the middle and then get to accept it, then just say, hey, that's cool. But if they come back on the phone and say, oh, I think my colleague got it for something less, just say, all right, cool. Can you just book me in at 1,000? I'll do it at 1,000. Because I guarantee you somebody on the other line doing it at 1,000. Now, ain't nobody going to be on that line doing it less than 1,000 because it don't make sense. It's posted it for 1,000. So let's go ahead and talk about location. Let's go ahead and get into this so I can get in and out real quick. But like I said before, if y'all know somebody's been talking about this, share this information with them. Like, don't hold on to this. Don't try to be sneaky about it or whatever. Just go ahead and share the information to them. Tag them in whatever thread, or it's going to be on YouTube, vice versa. Just copy the link, send it to them. Let me share my screen real quick. First thing you need to find out or try to figure out is if Amazon is in your city and can it be profitable. That's everybody's first question. Well, this is how you find out. All right. Good old Wikipedia, right? I know, right? So you Google Amazon, you can Google the location, you can click on it. When you click on Wikipedia, you click on the location link or the Amazon Fulfillment Center link, North America, United States. Let's go back. I'll go back and see if it showed me going backwards. Just so y'all know. All right. So I Google Amazon, the company, right? Because some of y'all need step-by-step. So I'm going to give y'all step-by-step. You click on the Wikipedia. Voila. Do I want to know about Amazon? No, I don't. I know enough about it. All right. So I'm going to tell you the first link to click on. It should be like a United States. So I went to the Amazon logistics, but I'm going to find out what link that I click on to get to where I got to so I can help you guys get there too. So give me 1 second. Bear with me because I'm going to have to find it changed colors on me. So logistics here. Directly Amazon Hub list. Okay. Subsidiaries. You see this? See also list of Amazon locations. List of Amazon locations. Click on the US. You're going to get this. It's going to just kick you down here. North America, United States. Here's the list. So if you guys live in Alabama, y'all got a center in Bazemore. Y'all got one in Huntsville. Well, actually, y'all opening up the one in Huntsville next year. Y'all got one in Madison, Mobile, Montgomery is opening up next year, and y'all got one in Theodore. Arizona, y'all got one in Avondale, Goodyear. Look at all y'all got in Phoenix. So people in Phoenix should be eating with this type of location. So if you're in or around Phoenix, just imagine if you're within 50 miles from Phoenix, north, east, south, or west, you can have access to these locations, these hubs. And so just for the purposes of me not wasting time, I'm finna go on down to where I'm from. So I'm from Tennessee, you guys. I live in Murfreesboro right here. So you might say, well, I only got one. So how can I never complain about rates. We are eating in Tennessee. And these are only locations we got in Tennessee, and we're eating. So all these other states, y'all should be eating heavy. But one of the main reasons is we got one of the big hubs that just moved there and just opened up here too. And I think they're trying to do like a home center from Seattle, kind of like a remote home office here in Nashville. So yes, we are growing in Middle Tennessee. Also, I am a realtor, so if anybody thinking about moving down here to Middle Tennessee, yeah, I can holler at your boy. But anyway, so take a look, Murfreesboro. So I am 15 to 20 minutes, well, about a 20, 30-minute drive to Nashville, this hub. I'm a 15-minute drive to Laverne, which is the same county I live in, this hub. 20-minute drive to this hub, and it's one of the largest out there. This hub is humongous. It's crazy. 30, 40-minute drive to this hub, and probably about an hour and some half drive to this hub. So with all those surrounding hubs, I'm gonna show you how I make money here in Tennessee. And then you can see if you can make money in your state. So no, I'm not gonna go through everybody's state. You know how to use your Wikipedia. Use your own Wikipedia. And you can see how you can get through if you're in Wisconsin, if you're in Washington, Virginia, Utah. So that gets you by your very first question. Can you make money in Amazon? Yes, you can. And if you want to know if your city is doing good or not, just look and see how many locations you're surrounded by, and that'll let you know. And if you're in North Dakota, you have this one location that opened up this past summer. You might can make a little money, but you're probably going to be struggling with your rates. So you might not see those $1,000 rates like other people seeing. So it doesn't make any sense for somebody in North Dakota to say, man, y'all just messing up the rates because y'all taking these $2 per mile rate. Like you're going to get those $2 per mile because they already know they ain't got but this one facility. So if you got a lot of box trucks with this one facility, then that's that on that. If you don't have a lot of box trucks in North Dakota and ain't but 2 or 3 of y'all down there, then y'all probably could be eating because they're going to try to get that freight out. But anyway, let's go get this so we can get this over with. Because I know some of y'all attention span ain't big. So anyway, let me stop sharing this. So let's talk about your cost per mile. Once you find your location, you move to your cost per mile. And instantly you got to realize or you got to figure out is how much your cost per mile is. I'm finna show you the easiest way to do it. This is the cheap way. This is like I'm the guy that, your math teacher gave you all the formulas. I figured out a faster way to do it and it works and it worked every time. So, that was me. Math was my strong suit though. So, I don't have any complaints. All right. So let me go back let me share the screen so y'all can see the backdrop and then we can go from there. All right. All right. So let's go in here so I can use this. All right. Boom. So I'm hoping you can see this. So real quick, only way that you can find first, you got to find your miles per gallon. Did you hear that? Miles per gallon. Only way you can find that out is fill up your vehicle, drive it, fill up your vehicle, hit the trip meter, get the trip meter to 0, and then do your loads, do your driving. When it comes time to fill it up again, then you need to take a look at how many gallons it took for you to fill it up. So at that point, if you've driven, easy example, if you filled it up, I filled up my truck. I did a couple of runs. I drove 650 miles. I have a 100-gallon tank, but I know for a fact I drove 650 miles, right? All right. If I went to put gas in that vehicle and it said, if I went to fill it up once it got low on fuel and it said 60 gallons, if that's easy math, and it said 60 gallons to fill it up again, right? So I know for a fact if I had a 100-gallon tank and it says 60 gallons, I know I spent 350 miles on them 60 gallons. And then I know that I had 40 gallons left, right? So let's do that math. I think this is going to be the easiest way. I'm trying to make it the simplest way for you guys. 60. All right. So, yeah. So that'll put me at 10.8. I know right now my Freightliner gets 11.7. So what you're going to do is you're just going to do those the gallons that you did to fill it back up divided by the miles that you drove. So when you fill it back up and then that you looked at your receipt and said you drove X amount of miles, you're going to divide that times the amount of miles that you've driven. And then you're going to come with your number. So that's how you know your miles per gallon. So in this example, it says I'm doing 10.83, right? So I know for a fact my vehicle gets 11.7. But and main reason mine gets 11.7 is because I have a governor. So if you want to know what engine I got a Cummins engine with an Allison's transmission. But I have a governor on my vehicle that's set at 65 miles per hour. It was like that when I purchased it. I'm not renting. I purchased my vehicle. It was like that when I bought it. Only reason I haven't gotten it taken off is because I hear people complain about they not getting a lot of miles per gallon, but they driving the same type of vehicle I'm driving. And then easily my thought process is they probably getting in a vehicle and they just dogging it out. They riding it. They 75 miles per hour. They speeding. They doing all of that. So that's gonna decrease your fuel efficiency. So I'm okay with my governor at 65 miles per hour because in between that and my podcast that I listen to, like I continue to learn. And that's something I'm gonna give advice for all of you young guys or young gals, because there's a lot of young women jumping into this industry too as well. So cut the radio off and get you a book to read, audio, not a book to read, but a book to listen to on Audible. Most of y'all got all y'all should have smartphones at this point. Jesus, if you don't, I don't know. This is an issue whole in itself. But start listening to certain things, because then you can pick up on certain things. So if you get in the truck, listen to some of the YouTubes. You get in the truck, listen to some books that's going to talk to you about taxes and things of that nature, so you can kind of learn the ins and out of being a business owner in itself. Learn as much as you can, but then that's me off of that. Let me get up off of that little halfway tangent. Back to what we're talking about. So we got 10.8 in this example. So I typically round mines to 10 no matter what. So I know I'm getting more than 10, but I just say 10 because it's easy math, right? I love 10, right? So now once you found your miles per gallon, which in this case, I'm just going to say flat 10. Now you need to find your cost per mile. So your cost per mile is going to be real simple. So if I drove, let's say a load popped up on the board for 250 miles and it popped up for $500, right? Easy math says that that's $2 a mile, right? 500 divided by the 250, that's $2 a mile. So most of the time we always say you want to make sure you stand well above that when you go OTR. Same thing rule kind of applies with Amazon. You want to kind of really stay well above that. Amazon, you can get these rates at $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8. I'm gonna show you how, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, you shouldn't be taking nothing less than that. I don't care where it's going. There's a lot of people that are gonna say don't take nothing less than 3, no less than 4, no less than 5. If you don't have that in your city where you at, you got to take what you got to take. So don't listen to all this garbage. Just understand you got to know how much it costs you to operate your business. And at that point, then you don't need to move your vehicle based on the cost of operation. All right. So take out everything else that you got to know for, because you should know your insurance and your all that other jazz. But that's on a monthly, standpoint. We're just using simple math with this learning your cost per mile. So right at $2, I'm getting paid $2 a mile on this, right? Wrong. Amazon is one way. So if it's 250 miles, then it's really 500 miles. So you're really going to be at $1. You're going to get paid $1 a mile. If you figure out that you get $10 of a gallon on your fuel, how much is your fuel cost? Well, hey, let's take a look at this fuel cost real quick, you guys. So if I'm driving 250 there, 250 back, that's 500. And if I divide the 500 times 500 I made, that's $1 a mile, right? So I basically got paid $1 a mile. Did I profit $1 a mile? No, I didn't. I did not profit $1 a mile. So real quick, I'm gonna show you how to do that. I take my 10. If this is the easy way to do it. If the fuel costs $3.56, visually, I just moved the decimal place. If you want to know how to get to that point, I'll just show you how to get to that point. You divide what the cost per gallon, and you get how many miles per gallon? You get 10 miles, right? Remember the 10.8? You get 10 miles per gallon, and this is what it costs. So you're going to pay $3.56 every 10 miles, right? Right. So if you divide that by the 10, there you have it. Now, like I told you, I mentally just moved the decimal place. So for the people that got a heavy foot and you come up Well, hey, I'm only getting 9 miles per gallon on my vehicle. Okay, then that's simple. If the fuel costs $3.56 divided by the 9, and you're at 0.39. So if you made $1 and you subtract that 0.39, that's your profit. Now here's the flip side. That's your profit on that. So you go ahead and multiply that times the miles that you run. And let me see if this come out right when I do this times the miles that I ran total. 500 total. So that's 305. So that's what I really made on that, 305. And I'm going to back check my work just so I make sure it's correct. So out of that $500, I've only made 305 out of that $500. So that's why we tell you all, know your cost per mile and know how much it costs. And this is how I'm going to back check my work. So if I confuse you guys, don't worry about it. I'm just checking to make sure I was correct on that. So out of that $500 you just made, you thought you was going to make $500. And then by the time the fuel it cost you to go there and come back, you really only made $305, right? That's your profit right here after the fuel. So the one way that I do it, for me anyway, is since I already know my 33, I could do it a number of ways. Let me see if I do it the backwards way. Watch this. 250. And y'all did. Let's say, so when it was 250, when it was at 250, and I'm just doing the one-way mileage, and you made $500, and you still knew that you were at what, 0.39? So if it was $2 a mile, then you subtract the $2. You'll take right real quick. So this helps you know it from the one-way standpoint when you see a post on Amazon. Put it to you that way, but it's still gonna give me the same. So let's say that it was 250 miles. I made $500. So you saw the Amazon say, hey, you guys, you can make $2 a mile on this run. So you was like, well, I already know mine is 0.39, right? So you take that $2, you subtract the 0.39. You got the 161. You take that 161 and you multiply times that 250. That's 402. So out of that $500, you're literally thinking, if you went and took it and dropped it and stayed there and you didn't come home, you made 402. But the reason you made 300 and something, because you had to come home. So you already knew that going there, out of that $500, it cost you $93 to go there, right? So coming back is going to cost you those same $93. And that's why you ended up with 305. So I just want to back check my work to make sure my work is cool. So like I said, I know some that might confuse some of you guys, but it shouldn't. I mean, you can just keep replaying it back and forth till it makes sense, because it's easy math, right? All right, so now that you found your cost per mile, let's go ahead and start looking at this load board real quick. All right, so let's talk about save searches in first step. All right, so when you get your access to your Amazon load board, excuse me, y'all, first thing you need to do is set up your searches. Oh, excuse me. First thing you need to do is set up your searches. That is the very first. Don't jump in and start trying to figure this out, figure that out. Save your searches so that way you know. So if you know what you're willing to drive your vehicle for, you know your cost per mile, they let you put everything in. They let you put the price per mile that you want. You see this? Follow my cursor. You see this? They let you put the price per mile. They let you put the payout. Some people put a minimum payout. So I, first of all, set up a basic search. I do one way in round trip, even though that doesn't exist. I still click it. You never know. This is where I live. I do a 50-mile radius because that's where I'm willing to drive. And I do to anywhere. And I saved that search. Then I went back and I set up searches based on what I want to make. So I have several searches. Let's look at my searches, you guys. All right. So I'm from West Tennessee. And so I got a lot of family in Memphis. So I got Memphis searches because just in case if I take my vehicle home, I can, make some runs when I go home, type of thing or whatever, or when I go back to West Tennessee. But I'm finna show you why I got these searches all saved up. Some of these I just added today though. So I got searches and email notifications to Trip. And so I'm gonna show you what happens when you click save search. So you go in, you put what you want. Say if I put $4 a mile and I click into another thing, then I click save this search. When you save the search and you can type it in, this is the key. You want to click on getting an email alert because you want to be notified. So for the people that waiting at the wrong time and y'all watching all these other people, all these other people are getting over and getting, they've been a little quicker than you because they actually get an email notification to their phone every single time. So you name the search, you save it, and then let's take a look at my searches. All right. So these are my searches. Hold on, bro. Well, I'll just tell them I'll call them back. All right. So these are my searches. I got searches for anytime something gets over 1,000, I need to be notified. Anytime it gets over 1,000, I need to be notified. And then at that point, I'm gonna make a decision. I got them going anytime it gets over 750, 800, 850, 950. I'm gonna tell you why I went up in those increments. This is why. There might be something that hits 750, and I might look at the distance, and I'm like, I ain't gonna take that at 750, but I'm glad I noticed it. So now my radar is up. So if I'm not doing anything, when it hits 750, my radar is up. So now I'm gonna keep an eye on that rate, on that load. That load, I might be willing to go for 800, or I might be willing to go for 850. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it because at some point it's gonna jump to 850. If something happens, I take my eye off of it, but I still got my cell phone on me and I get that notification. I still might see it. I get the notification. As soon as I get the notification, I see it. I click on it. I book it. I don't waste time because I already know mentally what I'm willing to do for that route. And I know I've been looking at it. So I already know what to expect. So it's almost like you got to be prepared when that time comes so you can pull the trigger. I get email notifications on all those. The only thing I don't get email notifications is for the comeback and for the Memphis route. And when I tell you this trick, this is a hack. I'm on this comeback. I'm gonna show y'all so much game on this comeback, but I'm gonna get to that later. So let's look at my regular search. This is my regular search. Save search number 1. My regular search. This is a normal from my house to wherever. Let's take a look at the rates so you guys can see what's going on tonight here in little old Nashville. First of all, I'm showing 1 of 100, so it's 232 results. So that lets me know I could do a lot of booking. Here's one of the keys. Do not book more than a day ahead or 2 days ahead unless you know that you're going to be in that city and you need to come back and you don't want to take a chance on not having a way back. Then go ahead and book. Otherwise, leave it alone because it's going to grow. Now, if you're in a market where there's not a lot of loads and people are just booking up whatever, then you need to pay your bills. So don't let nobody yell at you for booking something at $2.50 if you're in a market where when you come to a search, you only see 10 options. If you only see 10 options up here, just book your book what you can because you got to pay your bills. Some of y'all renting with these astronomical rental rates. Don't listen to everybody yelling at y'all saying y'all dumb and stupid for booking at $2.50. If your area can do that, if your area dictates that, then it dictates that. It's not you, it's the computer. It's the algorithm in the computer. And I'm just here to tell you are fighting against an AI, a billion-dollar AI that Amazon created. And so I'm gonna walk you through how that looks about this AI tool. So let's take a look at these loads. So this is for Monday, tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock, all military time, 2 o'clock. So this is a load that they're willing to deliver. And I bet you they're going to try somebody at $400. I just seen this load up here for $800. What happened was some of y'all be thinking that people be booking them. People don't be booking them. They take them off the board and then repost them to try to get somebody else to book them at a lower rate. So I remember seeing this on the board for about 800, right? Now it's $400. They took it off and they're going to move it to tomorrow. Because what probably happened was they saw that they didn't have enough pallets going to either or location to be trying to pay somebody 800. And so they say, we'll just have somebody deliver it tomorrow and it'll at least get there. So what'll happen is it may jump back on the board again tonight if don't nobody book it. So somebody might be scared and book this early. But then again, it might jump on the board. You have to watch the board and you have to be smart at this because it is operated by a computer system until you get down to the final negotiation. And then those people can manually change rates. But there's nobody sitting behind something manually doing this all the time. You know how many rates they'd have to manually change, manually do this? This is all done by a computer system. Yes, I was told that by somebody from Amazon. So, and it's verified. So I don't want to hear all the people that's gonna be like cap this, cap that. Try to be positive sometime, not negative. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is how we make money on Sundays. So right now, I don't have any of those boards that was those lows going at $1,000, but I will. I have some that already hit 100, 800, but I'm here to show you. I'm gonna show you certain routes that people don't like. So in my area, people don't like this Maryville route. Anything pretty much over 180, they set. Anything over 7, they'll set. So when I first started running with Amazon, I made a lot of money taking these routes because I didn't care. You know what I mean? But I was getting $481 or $500, and I really didn't care. And I knew my cost per mile. So I knew, and I own my truck. So I mean, as in I purchased my truck. So I paid $900 a month for my vehicle instead of those high rental rates. And so my overhead is not a lot. It's just fuel and then $900 in the insurance. So I'm okay with what I was making. I was literally profiting about like 2,000 every week. That's good enough profit for me. I don't know about some of y'all. Some of y'all, everybody ain't trying to get making $1 million out of this, and everybody ain't trying to. Some people, they don't take much. You got to understand this. It's a lot of people that weren't even getting $3,000 a month at their regular job. So if you could find something that's giving you 2,000 a week, or you can find something that's giving you 1,500 a week because you're taking the low rates. 1,500 times, what's 1,500 times 4, you guys? I don't know the math. 1,500 times 4. I don't feel like trying to do math. What's that? 6,000? That's 6,000 a month. So imagine if somebody was making $1,500 after they, cost of whatever it costs for them to operate, and they was making 6,000 a month. That's good money to a lot of people. So quit yelling at people because everybody not trying to get the $1,000 rates all the time. Me and my crew, we turn down $1,000 rates all the time. So let's take a look at this. So like I said, we know what's going to be on the board. So all of this is for tomorrow. So I wish they didn't jump off the board already so I could show y'all. So I guess I'm a little too late, honestly, because some of these, they will already be at 800. So anyway, if these are for tomorrow and they're already at 480, what do you think is going to happen come tomorrow? They're going to be at 800. And then when people don't get booked them, they're going to be at 1,000. So we typically will have this Maryville, either a Knoxville, 1 or 2 Knoxville, maybe that Powell. What else? This Pigeon Forge for sure, because it's 215. What else? This is all Monday. Don't forget. What else? All right, I'll just stop right there so I can show you guys some. Oh, this Sevierville. This Sevierville right here. Most definitely tomorrow. So these are all East Tennessee. I live in Middle Tennessee. Everything I just showed you is East Tennessee. It's going to be a 2.5-hour drive up to a 3-hour drive, right? Those loads I just went over, I showed you that are 480, they 490. Tomorrow, all of those loads they're going to light up my board probably about 8 o'clock. Sometimes they start at 7, but probably like 8 o'clock. And they're going to be at 800. And then it's going to be who wants to take them off the board. So some people are going to take them off the board at 800. Some people are going to wait, take them off the board at 1,000. Some people are going to wait and take them off the board at 1,600. There are some loads that'll go 250 miles that we see all the time that are $1,600. And some of us, we don't even click on it because we'd be like, I don't feel like driving 250 miles. Yes, is that a come up? Of course it is. But, you got to realize where you want to drive. I'm okay with not taking that load, but taking the load that's giving me credit for 230 miles, but 100 of those are coming back. So y'all don't even be thinking, right? So you just got to learn how to work the board and work your cost per mile and work, what you need to see. So let me see if they got the comeback. I ain't gonna show y'all that. So anyway, real simple for the people that ain't never been on here. This is how you book. You click on that, you find it, then you go ahead and you click book. They're gonna want you to accept that. I'm not gonna go over all of that because that's just basic, Amazon relay stuff. So you should know how to book. Once you book it, you set in, you set right in. I want to show you. Well, yes, I showed you how to set up your email searches and your email notify. And so let's talk about the load booking real quick. All right. So I'm gonna be on about 5 more minutes. I promise I ain't gonna hold you guys. So this is where you start learning the ins and outs and learning how to, beat the system if there's such a thing. All right, so pay attention because there's a lot that I need to unpack, but it's not really a lot. It just feels like it's a lot. Okay. First of all, your first priority need to be your performance. So I'm gonna be very transparent and show my performance. It takes a while to load it up. Your performance does have a lot to do with what you can and cannot book. So for the last 2 weeks, I had my A performance, right? And my truck had to go in the shop, and I was already booked up for the whole week, and so I had to cancel rates. Um, so by me canceling rates, I had you see my acceptance rates drop. So you see how I was accepting everything, and in 1 week I had to cancel like 10 of them. Well, not 10 of them. I canceled like 3 or 4. It just felt like 10 because I started renting the truck towards the end of the week to make money. But anyway, I'm always on time, so that's never an issue. These last couple of on times right here just happened only because they docked me for when I was canceling, and they docked me for something else. I don't know what it was, but typically, um, it took me so long to get up to that early access. As soon as I get it, I only had this shit for about like 2 weeks, right? But this is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on your early access. Your score is always the lowest score on the board. So if you didn't know, so right now my lowest score on the board is acceptance. That's my performance. It's weird how they do that. I think it's messed up, but it is what it is. So just so you know, when these weeks fall off, fall off, fall off, fall off, and then that week is next, whenever that week happens, 5 weeks from now, it's going to fall off. As long as my truck doesn't break down again, I'm going to have 100% acceptance rate. So I'm going to go from a 53 to 100 just like that. But in the meantime, I'm going to have access to all these trashy rates. Now let's go back to the load board. I'm going to show you what the early access allows you to see. So the early access allows you to see like a lot of the 2 o'clock rates. So you see this where it says Nashville at 1,400 hours, that's 2 o'clock going that far. So there will be a lot of 2 o'clock rates that are just like 50 miles. And you can go from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, drive 50 miles and get like $250. Then you'll see another one that'll say from 8 o'clock. No. Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock for another 250. Well, in that time span, that's $500 for those 100 miles you drove. That's good, you guys. Some of you guys are going about this all the wrong way. When you see that, like I said, don't let nobody yell at you and tell you don't take a rate, don't take a load that's like $250 off. I'm taking that $250 off the board every single time at 2 o'clock. Not this one, because you see the mileage on this one. This is 176. I ain't doing that. That's stupid. But I'm taking it off if I'm only driving 50 miles because I know for a fact there's going to be 100 more other people behind me that wants them good rates, that want to be at home, that don't want to be driving at midnight, that don't want to be driving in the middle of the night. So if you can make $500, you know what I'm saying, just for doing that 2-hour route, coming home, chilling, go back, add it at 10 o'clock, and then do the next 2-hour route and do another 250. That's 250, that's 500. That's easy money. That's an easy day for some people. So early access allows you to make multiple trips. That's the only benefit of early access, honestly. Because I mean, you get to pick the best routes, yes, duh, but you get to take multiple trips throughout the day. So how does that benefit you? So say the example I just gave you, where you're going from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then you're done, and then you're going from sometimes they got them 4 to 6, and then you're going from 10 to 12. So let's say you do the 4 to 6 and then the 10 to 12. And you made quick $500. Well, you're done at like 12 something or 12:30. Well, guess what? If y'all know Amazon, y'all know for a fact there is going to be a 3 o'clock route somewhere. So let's find it. So we got a 1 o'clock route, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So if you wanted to get after your coins, you still can get your $1,000 in a day, because watching what I tell you. So tomorrow, this Rogersville, this is Tuesday. Yeah. So this is Tuesday at 1 in the morning. So that's Monday after 12 o'clock. So this is why I say tomorrow, even though you're gonna be like, tomorrow's Monday. So tomorrow, Monday, this leaves at 1:50, right? People hate this Rogersville, Alabama route. Why? I don't know. I guess because people in Nashville don't want to drive to Alabama, but it's only 150 miles. It's not that bad. So it's 4 stops. As you can see, you're going to Killeen, you're going to Florence, and then you're going to Rogersville. All right. About 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, this right here is going to be worth 1,200. It never fails. Somebody gets mad. Somebody don't want to take it on a Tuesday, whatever the case may be. That bad boy always gets up to 1,000, no matter what. I personally know this, right? So you have to watch your board, right? I learned my board. Watch the board. So when this get up, I know it can get up to 1,200. Am I gonna let it get to 1,200? No, if I really want to go get it. So what if I just already did those first 2 local routes that was only 50 miles a piece and I made $500? And then this route got up to 1,100 and I didn't wait for it to get to 12 and I took it off the board at 1,100. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'll be driving all day. But if some of y'all trying to make some money, that's how y'all make y'all money. So now that 1,000 plus is 500, I just made $1,500 for the day, right? That's not bad. That's not a bad day. And then you can come home, sleep all day. For some of y'all that could do it. And then tomorrow you could be like, I worked my butt off yesterday. I'm not going to take an early route. So you can sleep all day. And guess what you can do? Wait till Wednesday. Watch this. All right, Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday. Now you done slept all day. You spend time with the family, whatever you want to do. You can wait till Wednesday. This Greenbirds, Kentucky. For whatever reason, us Nashvillians or Middle Tennesseans, we don't really like to drive to Kentucky because they be pulling people over in Kentucky for no reason. But anyway, this has to get to Kentucky, right? I guarantee you this is going to be another $1,000 rate. So even though you worked 3 routes and it took 3 routes to get your 1,500 yesterday, you could chill the next day. You ain't got to take no early routes. And then you could book this one right here and you could just wait and book it at night. So you can pretty much sleep all day, sleep all the morning, then, get up, do whatever you got to do, then take another nap, come back, wake up, be at the dock at 2 o'clock. And this 300 is going to be at over $1,000 because ain't nobody going to take this route because they hate going to Kentucky. They hate going to Kentucky. So that's what I be saying about certain routes, knowing your routes and knowing them as they come back. So then like on those 2 days, you made what? 1,000 plus 1,500. So in 2 days, you made 2,500. So when people always post like there's money to be made, there's money to be made. Don't be getting confused that people lying. People are making, if they post it and they show it, then they're making what they're making. But if your city is not doing those type of deliveries, then you're not going to get those posts. So some of those cities that when we looked at the locations, they're not getting all these options, 200 and some options on a Sunday to be booking up next week. But see how I told you stay away from certain. So people in Middle Tennessee, we know to stay away from page 2. We don't even book none on page 2 or page 3 because it's pointless. We wait till it gets close to the time and then we book it. Because see, something like this one, give you an example. Look at the last second to the bottom. This is one of those easy ones, close by, only 70 miles, 246. You could wait all day long, all you want. Somebody is always going to take this off the board before it even gets to 400 because they don't care about driving them 70 miles and making the little money that they're going to make. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that'll take this route probably lives 15 minutes, 20 miles or 15 miles away from Manchester. So they don't mind driving to Nashville and coming back, delivering this and going home with no deadhead. So they're going to get as much as this 350, a mile as possible. And that's okay with them. Y'all got to understand, this ain't y'all money. Like, y'all need to stay, some of y'all need to stay in y'all own lane. But I ain't finna get on that. So look, this little finesse I'm finna show y'all and then I'm out. All right. So if y'all can hear some music in the background, that's my son. So listen, let's go back to my save searches. This is what I want to talk to you guys about real quick. So look what I got. So on this save search, I got everything going over $4.50. So no matter what it is, I know it's going over $4.50. Now, granted, there's some stuff that's going to be real short runs. I usually look for the high dollar that post. And if I see the high dollars, I might jump on it. But watch this. Some of y'all that haven't thought about this yet. I call this my comeback. So I done found out how you can really go OTR with Amazon and eliminate those one ways. But I could do it in my market. So I don't know if you could do it in your market. I most definitely could do it in my market. And I'm gonna show you how. All right, first up, Monday at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Monday morning, there is a load leaving Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is a Memphis local hub, and it's coming to Nashville for $4.99. That's $2.25. So in the realm of OTR, right, you would go there and then you would look for a route to come home, right? I just look for a route to come home. I saved the search as comeback. So basically what that search is, anywhere coming back to where I live. So now I know all the places that's coming to Nashville. So guess what? I can go OTR in these spots if need be. So let's take a look at this. $4.99. I can book it right now. And this is for 10 o'clock in the morning, right? All right. Well, I need to find something going to Memphis then, right? I ain't finna drive all the way. I'm not finna drive 221 miles and then come back, right? So watch this. This is from Memphis going to Nashville. So this is my comeback. Now I go back to my saved searches, my first original one anyway. And I see if I got anything going to Memphis. Anything late night going to Memphis. So I don't have any on this one, but I'm going to show you on the 10 o'clock. Let's say if that was 10 o'clock Tuesday, Monday. So let's go here. All right. So look at this. All right. Nashville to Memphis. This is one hub to the next hub. That's an easy load. $4.92. So I would leave at 11 o'clock at night. I would get there at 4 o'clock. So let's go back to the comeback and let's see if I can show you the comeback. So first of all, let's go ahead and mark this down. So I'm leaving at 11 o'clock and well, that's not 11. What's that? That's 10 o'clock. So I'm leaving at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, you guys. So I'm leaving at 10 o'clock and I'm getting there at 4 in the morning. So now you're going to be like, well, what am I going to do at 4 in the morning? I got this layover. I got this like whatever. Okay, if you're going OTR anyway, you already know the routine. You're going to be sleeping in your truck or you're going to be getting you a hotel, whatever you need to do. You know, you can pull over. Me personally, when I go to another city like this and it's early in the morning, by the time you get there and unload, it's going to be about 5 o'clock. So, you know, the sun going to be coming about 6 o'clock. I just drive to somewhere like Cracker Barrel or somewhere I can get some breakfast or go in, sit down, have a good breakfast. You know, get on my phone, get on social media, chill. Next thing I know, it's about, you know, if I sit down about 5 or 6 o'clock, you know, if I sit down 5, it takes about an hour just to kind of eat and sit and chill and do whatever. Then next thing you know, it's about 7 o'clock, whether I decide to take a nap or not. Now I've been playing on my phone or whatever. It's about 7 or 8. It's about time for me to pull into the next location. So now I can drive from that Memphis location, go back to my saved, which that was the comeback. So now y'all see I got the comeback. So now I know who all's coming back. So I don't want to use that Memphis location because we already can't use that example since, you know, that time has passed. So Tuesday, I got to have one coming back Tuesday, right? So let's see what time I'm coming back Tuesday. So now I found Tuesday. I got to have something in Memphis coming back Tuesday. Guess what? It's that same Olive Branch, 10 o'clock. That same Olive Branch, 10 o'clock. Guess what? If y'all want me to do you one better, watch this. So now with that same Olive Branch coming back, that's $4.99 plus $3.18. $4.99 plus $3.18. That's 817. So you made 817 by that one day. Because you drove there, you caught something, and you caught something back later on, right? If you did that 5 days a week, just 5 days, right? You didn't work Saturday, Sunday. You did that 5 days a week. That's what you got a week. If you did that 5 days a week, right? Ain't that like that's like almost OTR? Ain't that like almost on the road type of money? I mean, I don't know what y'all making on the over the road, but that's 4K, right? And you did that in a month. Y'all know the math. So I ain't trying to gash out with numbers because you got to be willing to do this. Now, this is why I tell y'all. This is one of the reasons, one of many reasons why I tell you guys, stop bitching at people because they taking early rates off the board. If I saw this $300 rate jump off the board for $1.44, yes, I probably would be like, oh, somebody shouldn't have done that. Why they shouldn't have? They need to come back home, right? Yes, you finna take that off the board. You are most definitely finna take that off the board because you need to ride back and you don't want to wait. Because if you mess around and wait, now you're gonna be staying in Memphis all day. And if you come back the night before, then it's pointless. It's not like working. It's not like 2 runs in one day anymore. So yeah, somebody gonna take that low $1.44 off the board because they're getting the full $1.44 because they got something coming down there and they got the full $2 and whatever. So you're actually getting the full rate. It's not it's a one way. You can turn Amazon into round trips if it's possible. So this is so much easy. This is so much free game right here for some of y'all. Some of y'all ain't never thought about this. I know y'all haven't. And that's why a lot of people eating. I don't spend time complaining about people taking low ass rates. I spend time trying to figure out how to increase, my money, increase my intake. And this is one way. So I call this my Amazon OTR route, right? So some of you guys are real quick. And so I know y'all looked on this when I showed y'all this, right? And some of y'all saw something. And I'm going to show you what some of y'all saw. You see this Memphis to Laverne at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday, right? Do I got something getting to Memphis? I could have sworn I saw something. I got something getting to Memphis. Come on, you guys, talk to me. Where we at? Did I see it? Did I not see it? That is 6 o'clock. All right. So yeah, I thought I seen something that got me to Memphis at like 4 o'clock. So I literally could have booked that. Let me see if I did. Let me just take a look at this real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Bear with me real quick. I'm gonna fly through this. My eyes get crossed looking at this all night sometimes though. Because sometimes I gotta go far out because people already done booked. Okay. So yeah, I couldn't find out what I had saw, but I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all something else on here, just in case if some of y'all seen that too as well. All right, so you got a Laverne right here, and find me one that is going to Olive Branch. So okay, so this is back to like that Tuesday. So anyway, you saw the Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So I got one that's going from Laverne to Olive. This is Olive Springs, that ain't Olive Branch. So I knew that wasn't gonna do that. Okay, so I didn't see it, so I seen a layover with it. Sometimes you got to go far out. So if you the purpose of me showing you this is these are the ones that you got to book far in advance, and these are the ones that you got to bite the bullet and book at the $1.44, $1.36. Amazon knows that, and that's why they're not going to raise the rates on those domicile to domicile. So I'm gonna show you another one real quick. Laverne, Nashville, and Lebanon. So this Nashville, no, that's not it. Here we go. So Mount Juliet to Memphis. So this Mount Juliet to Memphis is 8 in the morning. You guys see that? That's 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. And then you get to Memphis by, was it 3 o'clock? I don't even know why it takes you that long. So I guess they saying because it's 238 miles. I guess they assuming that it takes that long. So I would take this off the board, right? And I would look for a 1600-hour Memphis coming back this way. So let me see if I can find that. I might can't find it, but let me see if I can find it. So this one is 8 in the morning. So if I want to leave in the morning, get to Memphis about 3 o'clock or whatever, and this is typically when you usually would, kind of lay over, but you would take the same thing back, right? So on this one, I would be looking for afternoon to come straight back. So I got back home that same night. So let's see if I can find one like that. I just showed you an example of you doing the ones from night to night, but let's see if we can find one from morning to morning. So I go back to my save search. See, this is what makes it so easy. This is why you got to set up your searches. That's the first thing you do always. So on the comeback on a Wednesday, what do we got coming back home Wednesday? At 10 o'clock. What else? From Memphis. What's this? 7 o'clock. So I just showed you something where I was getting there at what? 1,500 hours is 3 o'clock. And then this is going back out at 7 o'clock. 1,900 hours is 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's 7 o'clock. So I get there at 3. I could sit down once again, eat lunch or dinner, chill. Then you always going to pull up to the location an hour early anyway. So this leaves at 7:45. So I'm going to pull up at 6:45 anyway, right? So now I'm finna pull up at 6:45. So really that was actually only like a 2-hour in between layover because you're going to take out an hour to eat lunch, right? So now I'm coming home. And so I load up at 7 o'clock. I don't know why they think it take that long to get from Memphis to that time. This is really throwing me off because they giving me to 2 o'clock in the morning to check in. But if I load up at 7, let's just say I load up early because I got there early. And so really I'm supposed to be there at 7 and I'm supposed to depart at 8 o'clock. And so I'm here to tell y'all it don't take from 8 to 2 in the morning to get from Memphis to Laverne because I do this all the time. So that's Amazon giving us enough time. I'm gonna be back in bed at 11 o'clock. I'm just gonna be keep it 1,000 with you. So yes, if I left during the daytime in the morning at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be back in my own bed at 11 o'clock at night to get a good night's sleep, and I could do that all over again if I wanted to, right? And then I just showed you that the rate that I'll be doing that at. So I didn't get the starting rate. Let's say it was $600 and some dollars. Let's say it was $6, because typically they're always somewhere between $324, $340 or whatever. So let's say it was $345 times 2, which it probably wasn't. That's still $690, right? That's some old OTR work, but I'm still coming home every night. Think about that for a second. So I just showed you how you go there, come back, and you do that. And if you do that on 5 days, you don't want to work the weekends. How many of y'all still be excited about making 3,400, right? Some of y'all gonna be like, well, you don't even know what's the real cost per mile out of that. Yeah, I do. How come I don't? All of that stuff is like what? One way is 220 miles. I say 220 miles. There, 220 miles back. So times 2 is 1 day. So 440 times 5. I'm sorry. Back times 5 equals that. So 3,500 divided by what? 22. I don't know if I did all that. So yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. So then you can take that and multiply times yours. So even doing that from that example, and it's easy to see because if you saw that it was 142, like I don't even have to do real math. If I see that it was 142, then I know that the comeback was 142, then I know that's gonna be what I'm making. And some of y'all probably be like, well, that person ain't making no money. Listen, you got to understand that person is decreasing their cost per miles because they're doing it both ways that way. Now, I personally would say I don't really recommend that, but I recommend it because I just showed you the bare minimum of you making that. The first route that you saw going to Memphis was like $499. So just imagine for all them routes that's going there, that's going to be around that $400 or $500 range, and then you be getting paid the same cost per mile, but you're gonna be more money. So it's not gonna be the $690. It's gonna be like the $800. But you gotta be on the boards. You gotta be on the boards, and you gotta figure it out. So there was one more thing I want to show you guys real quick. Let me see. Let me see on my comeback. I'm gonna show you all the other cities on my comeback. So this is my comeback, so you can see where I'm going. So Campbellsville, Kentucky to Lebanon. That's 180 miles. So Chattanooga on the comeback, Memphis on the comeback, Jefferson, Indiana. So we can go to Kentucky, Indiana. Where's the Alabama? There's the Bazemore, Alabama that we talked about. Alabama, Mississippi, which is Memphis. And what else? Let me see if I see any more of them. And another Kentucky, right? So I don't have to take no local routes and fight over the local routes every day. I literally could just wait for all these routes to hit this $4.99 rate. And I could take this Memphis to Laverne, and then I could take Laverne back to Memphis, or I can find something from Laverne to Memphis and then jump on the Memphis back. You get what I'm saying? You see this $4.99? I could take that one. And I could take one back from Memphis. You see this $4.75? Laverne to Williamsport. Oh, they snuck. That's a local route. They snuck it in on me, you guys. So, but anyway, yeah. So just to show y'all, see, y'all limiting yourself because y'all not even opening up, I guess, the thought process of let me think outside the box and see what neighboring cities that I could go have a small layover and then come back home with a load. Ain't that how it's supposed to be done, right? Don't y'all complain about the one ways? No, y'all can fuss about the one ways, right? Listen, I just solved it for my city. I don't know about y'all city. So my city eating though. The people in Nashville, they always eating because they know how to wait on the rates. But for the people that don't know how to wait on rates, you still can get into that fancy OTR and still be making $4,000 a week, right? So, like I said, it's possible, man. Like those numbers were gross. They wasn't net because I ain't take no gas or fuel out of it. But like I said, it's still possible, and you don't have to be just limiting yourself. And I just want to show some of you guys that quit fussing at the people taking them dollar some rates, because I wish somebody would try to talk about me because I took this rate from Jefferson, Indiana off, and it was $1.71, and they was like, you could have waited for it to go up $1,000. This is never going to be $1,000 because there's always somebody that's going to be in Laverne that needs a ride back home to Jefferson, Indiana, and that person in Jefferson, Indiana jumped on the first thing that they could to get to Laverne, so they was okay with that. So yes, they drove all the way down here for $3.45, and they're gonna catch the Laverne back to Jefferson, maybe for the same $3.45. They are okay with that. But by them knowing that, he'll be a fool to wait to think and assume that this is gonna get to 1,000. It ain't gonna get to 1,000. It's just gonna jump his ass off the board because somebody is gonna book it before them. You can't wait on all of them, you guys. I'm here to tell you that it's impossible. You can't wait on all of them. What was it? It was one more thing I want to show you guys that I do. Okay, yeah. It ain't really I want to show you, so I kind of just want to reiterate what I was just saying on this. So I'm gonna give you an example. There are not a lot of box trucks in Alabama for whatever reason. So if you find out there's a city that doesn't have a lot of box trucks, then you need to watch that city coming to your city because they need to be able to get to your city, right? And if it's not a lot of box trucks, because for whatever reason, it's not a lot of people, I guess, running out of Alabama only because they think like it, or only because they're searching what Alabama to Alabama. They're not searching Alabama to other places like that. Like they trying to stay in this certain radius, right? So I'm gonna show you something. Where is it? Where's Bazemore at, you guys? I just seen. Here it is. So this Bazemore. This is my secret. So for the people that's in Middle Tennessee, I'm finna tell y'all one of my secrets. And if y'all end up and I gotta fight y'all over booking this, just understand I know the game. I ain't gotta wait till it get to 1,000. I get it before you. But anyway, this Bazemore going to Lebanon, right? So I told you I'm 15 minutes away from Lebanon. So this Bazemore to Lebanon is 217 miles. For whatever reason, I guess people in that area don't want to drive 217 miles to Middle Tennessee and come back, right? Well, this route gets to $1,200 a lot. And it's almost a straight shot, right? I mean, I'm talking almost a straight drive, no mountains, no nothing. Highway, no issues. And the highway ain't really that busy. Easy delivery at 217 miles. But the problem is it'll get up to about 1,200. So most people say, well, you got to drive to Bazemore if you're already in Nashville. You're right. But if I'm already in Nashville and I see a route that's 250 miles and it's on the board for 1,200, and I gotta go drop it off, and then I gotta drive those 217 miles back, that's the same 400 miles anyway, right? It's the same thing. So some of y'all don't even look at that. So I look at routes coming into my city because I might be willing to drive to that city to get it. Now, some of you probably say, okay, what would be the benefit of that? Okay, well, first of all, I can get home faster. So I ain't up all night. Think about that. So for this route, 217 miles should only be a 3 hour or something drive, right? So do they got 3 hours on here, leaving at 11 and getting back about 4 or something? I guess it's about 3 hours, somewhere close to it. So anyway, so on something like this, yes, I got to pick it up at 11. So of course I'm gonna leave at 8. I'm leaving here at 8. It's a 3 hour trip. I'm leaving here. Okay, no, I might leave here at 7 because I want to get there early. So I'm leaving here at 7. I get there, they load me up, I bring it back. I'm walking into the house at 5 o'clock. So if anything else I need to do, that's fine. But it's like a $1,200 route. So this is one of mine that always goes up to 1,200, and I'll probably wait. And I'm okay with driving to Alabama to bring this home. I'm okay with bringing that 1,200 home because it's the same difference if I was in Nashville trying to take a route that was going, whatever, except, my ride up there, I don't have anything in the truck. And I'm just bring it back, drop it off, make a quick 1,200. I'm back in the house. I'm going to show y'all another one. That's not a long drive. So this Shepherdsville, Kentucky. This can sneak up depending the day of the week. This route on the weekend is a $1,200 route. So this route on the Friday is always 1,200 because for whatever reason, people in Kentucky, I guess, feel like they got to go out on Fridays or something. So what'll happen is this is only 171 miles. This is not far. I am A-okay with that. This is like 2.5 hours. So this one you see is on a Tuesday. Let's say it's Tuesday at 9 in the morning and it's coming to Laverne. So that's 2.5 hours, right? So guess who waking up at 6 o'clock? Yeah, because I get there. So guess who waking up at about 5:30 in the morning, getting up, then driving up here to Shepherdsville. I get there at 9 or 8:30 or 9. I load up. It's a domicile to domicile. So that's a sort center to sort center or a fulfillment center to sort center. And those are the easiest to load up because typically you have the metal bins and they just shove them. They shove them to you. You shove them on the on your truck and you strap them down. You typically don't deal with pallets. So this is always quick. I love fulfillment center to fulfillment center. So anyway, I get there. I leave about 5 in the morning, just like you have any regular job. And I get there 8:30 or 9, load me up. I'm at home. What time am I back? 2 o'clock. Why would I not like this route? I'm back home at 2 o'clock. So some of you have a 9-to-5 job, or some of you still got that 9-to-5 job mentality. I just showed you how you still can do OTR kind of like with this and still be back. So I already showed you we do got routes going to Shepherdsville. So if I want to take a route to Shepherdsville for 300, and let's just say that 300 coming back at 9 in the morning, goes up to 1,200. Like this one on the weekend, I'm telling you, this one on a Friday and a Saturday always gets up to 1,200. So why would I not drive 2.5 hours for $1,200? And I'm back home at 2 o'clock. Come on, man. A lot of y'all complaining and fussing, and then y'all just not even just minding your own business and just figuring it out. I done figured it out. My team done figured it out. My team know way more than me. So I'm in a like a personal group, what I'm saying, with some friends of mine from college. And it's like, they know way more, but we just share information. So I'd almost advise y'all to get with a group of people and share information and bounce stuff off of people. But yeah, so I'm about to bring this to a close because some of y'all probably ain't gonna pay attention anyway. But make sure y'all share this information to somebody that may need it. Make sure y'all go over this information. Make sure, let me see. Stop sharing. There we go. So make sure y'all go over this information. Make sure y'all just try to plug people in just so they can learn. Because a lot of times y'all sitting here just complaining to everybody instead of just trying to help people. When it's just as simple as just helping people. So you mad at people taking the lower rates? Just teach them how not to take the lower rates. I just taught them how not to take the lower rates and how to wait. Couple of key points for the newbies when you're booking. Watch your board every single day Um, always pay attention because Amazon has what, the 6 hour or is it 8 hours? I don't know because I don't really reject any routes. But when do you get a penalty for rejecting a route? So if it's 6 or 8, let's say it's 6 hours. So let's say your penalty is after 6 hours, it counts more, right? So some people will cancel a route. And so you got to always look 6 hours before typically the routes drop off the board or get put on the board. So if in your area, you always see a lot of routes go up at 11 p.m. and then midnight, then 1 a.m., then 3 a.m., then 11, 6 hours from 11 is like 5 o'clock. So you need to start watching for cancellations around 5 o'clock because people are finna start getting rid of when they get that phone call that their driver's not working. And then they just like, well, let me go ahead and cancel this route. That route will jump on the board double of whatever it was booked for. So if that route was booked early because it was prematurely booked, like a lot of these people have dedicated lanes. So, that route, no matter what, if it was a $300 route normally, when it gets canceled and it's 6 hours to take off, that route probably going to be 600 or it's probably going to be 500. It's going to re-hit the board back at 500 or 600 because it's countdown to when it needs to be accepted. Amazon knows that. The computer knows that. So it already has a rate predetermined in the system that when it hits within 6 hours, it's always going to be this X amount of dollars. At that point, every hour, then it starts to rise. So to give you an example, if it hits back at $500 at 6 hours, about time you get to 5 hours later or 6 hours later, and let's say it moves at $100, that's why you get the $1,200 rates then when you see them, because they're always going to escalate probably about $100 and some dollars, a little bit less every hour. So when it does that, then now you got to make a decision. Am I taking this off the board? So when it jumps back on and you saw something that wasn't on the board earlier, but you could tell it must have been a cancellation, you could take it off the board and it may be a good rate for you at $600. Some people it is, depending on how far you got to go, but it may not. But if it's a place that you know that people ain't always booking or they don't like to go and it usually sits on the board anyway, then you can hold back on that one. So for all the new people, you can hold off on that because then at that point, that's something that by the time you get to 9 o'clock and it's supposed to be going at 11, it's probably going to be already up at 800 on Amazon board before they send it to the 1200 on the DAT board. And if it gets up to 800 on Amazon board, I'm here to advise you book it instantly. Some of y'all, like, I get it, wait until 1,000. You can. If your city can't dictate that, then don't dictate that. We're going to have about 9 rates, 9 lows that always hit the board right around 800, 900. So if 9 are on the board, then we typically can wait because everybody in Middle Tennessee typically waits to see all of those get to 1,000. And sometimes I've seen where we had like 10 up that were like 1,000. So at that point, everybody just pick and choose what they wanted. And of course, it's more than 10 people probably fighting over, but everybody ain't watching their phones and you don't got your email search saved, right? You got to have your phones and your email search saved. So when you get that little ding and it comes across, guess what you're doing? When you hit that ding and that search comes across, now you're watching the board. So now you're ready to make a move. So that's what a lot of people are talking about when they're fussing and they're saying, why did you take it off at X amount? Now I want to show y'all from both sides. It may be a reason why some people took it off because they needed to get back home if they're running the OTR Amazon relay. And it may be a reason where they just took it off to guarantee the right way to the house. Or like I said, if it hits the board early. So all my people, when it hits the board, just you can wait on some of them. But just understand if it's within that 6 hour drop off and it was a cancellation, it's going to go up $100, somewhere about $100 every hour until takeoff. And then at that point, somebody either going to take it off the board or you're going to get it off the board or you can get it early. And that's how you got to pick and choose, how far you're going. And I'm here to tell you sometimes it's good to just go ahead and book the $800 and not trying to get to the 1,000 because you can wait all day for $1,000 rate and then you can go use the bathroom and somebody booked it. Now you ain't going nowhere. Now your truck just sitting. This is the waste of day, right? All right. So I said I wasn't gonna try to keep it long. I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know how long I've been on here though. But some of y'all could, if y'all have questions, y'all can hit me in the comment section. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be able to look at them and answer the questions, but I'll try to reply. Because like I said, I don't do Amazon. I don't do this YouTube like a for profit. So I know y'all looking at it like, damn, he talked for a whole hour. Like y'all can speed through it. But like I said, tag somebody on it. I know some people don't want to sit there and be like, whatever, listen to something for an hour. But if you know it's going to help you, So y'all have a nice day.